Hey everybody, it's Mark the Monster here. Thank you for tuning in to the Don't Say the F Word podcast. We appreciate all of you. You can check our podcast out on Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcast. We usually go live right here on Instagram. If you're checking this out later, hopefully you're checking us out on Rumble. We are on Rumble now. Pretty cool platform. Very easy to use interface. Even a puppet can do it. We are checking out some Bomb Shelter FM here in the background while we are waiting for the big guy and his illegal brother-in-law, Joe, to join the show. We will be recapping WWE Night of Champions from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. We will give you our thoughts, opinions, maybe even rate some of those matches. We're going to take a look forward to tonight. We have AEW Double or Nothing, a 4 Pillars main event. Those of you checking us out right now, make sure you come back 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, live right here on Instagram. We will have an interview with BKFC title contender Kai Allen Stewart. He will be talking to us ahead of his main event that is coming up on June 9th for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Those guys are pretty tough. They punch each other in the head. Well, quite a bit, really. There's a lot of fisticuffs that happen there. We've had a pretty exciting week. We great episodes of Raw and SmackDown. SmackDown was pre-recorded last week, but they gave us a lot leading into the pay-per-view premium live event. Yeah, it's premium live event now. No longer call them pay-per-view. Still kind of weird to not call it a pay-per-view. Kind of feel like that's still always what it's gonna be. That's very weird to say premium live event. That's a weird way to talk, I think. But the event in Saudi Arabia was really good. I thought the crowd, pretty good. We'll go pretty good. It's pretty good, accurate. Crowd was really having a great time. That was something that's pretty cool. They were very, very much into it. You can tell they really appreciate getting these type of events. It's understandable why they pay out so much to get these events. I think there are reports that the Saudi event, the singular events, bring in more than WrestleMania for WWE. The fact that they bring in more than WrestleMania is pretty crazy. That's the event. It's illegal brother-in-law Joe. Joe, what's up? How are you today?
I figured I represent your cousin for you today. How that sound?
Is that an Oscar shirt?
Yeah.
I know him. I know him.
Yeah, your cousin, your long-lost cousin. So
we've gone out a few times. He's a bit of a partier. It's kind of how he got himself into the situation he's in, where he lives in a trash can.
Yeah, that's why he likes to talk trash every day. Talking trash.
Yeah, he's a real trash talker. He unemployed. That's worth a mention. Doesn't even try to find, like how I work here. Yeah, so I get to live in this nice place. You gotta work hard if you want things in life, Joe. It's important, and it's something Oscar didn't learn that. Now, I don't look down on him. Not at all. I respect him. I respect him as a puppet. He's a nice guy.
Nice guy.
He's a bit of a carefree attitude, but he's happy. And sometimes he's a grouch. Hence the name, Oscar the Grouch. But, I mean, if you've been living in a trash can for that long, I mean, sometimes it's okay to be in a bad mood. Like, you can be in a bad mood. It's not a real big deal. It happens to all of us. Sometimes I get mad. And then I have coffee, and I'm good.
Coffee. Okay. Okay. Coffee works for you. That's great.
Yeah. Coffee is a great problem solver, Joe. I don't know if you know that. If you're ever mad at your favorite wrestler, mad because the event didn't go your way, have a nice cup of coffee. It'll solve everything. I'm telling you. I've had 14 cups this morning. It's why I don't blink.
Well, I'll need like a cup of at 9 o'clock.
Look dead into my eyes, Joe. Look. You see that?
Yeah.
I'm not blinking. Hey, you want to meet somebody?
Yeah, let's meet somebody.
All right, hold on. Be right back. And guy who needs no introduction, your new WWE heavyweight champion of the world, Seth freaking Rollins.
Oh, goodness.
I'm the architect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got my.
Oh,
I got the wardrobe on. I got a belt. Yeah, I'm Seth Rollins.
damn. That was a quick change.
Yeah. And I want to encourage everyone, as your new WWE heavyweight champion of the world, make sure you always check in to Don't Say the F Word. My best friend, Mark the Monster Clementine, is the host of the show. He has friends who come on, like the big guy, Jeremy, his illegal brother-in-law, Joe. But it's Mark the Monster show. Mark the Monster, he runs everything. He does, yep, there we go. Hey, look, we got someone right here in the crowd, and they realize I am Seth Rollins. Yep, nope, not an imposter at all. I am Seth freaking Rollins, WWE heavyweight champion of the world. Yep, don't get it twisted. I'm not on a movie set. I am right here on Don't Say the F Word podcast, supporting my friend Mark the Monster Clementine. Yep.
There you go.
See that, Joe? I bet you didn't think you were going to get to meet Seth freaking Rollins today.
I did not.
Yep. Mark, what are you doing? Mark, hey, unhand me, you scoundrel. Just stop telling people. I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for those meddling kids. Man, I'm sorry about that. That was not Seth freaking Rollins. That was Mark. That was He's had a lot of coffee this morning, Joe. Just a lot of coffee. I don't think puppets are supposed to drink coffee. Don't think that's the way it's supposed to go.
I blame my sister for giving him a straw of coffee.
Hey, you know what? That's valid. And she makes a great cup of coffee. Welcome, everyone. Don't Say the F Word, Pro Wrestling and Combat Sports podcast, where we do not use the F word when we talk about professional wrestling. Shouldn't let your friends use it either. It's Sunday morning. We are going to cover WWE Night of Champions. We're going to look ahead to AEW Double or Nothing tonight, Four Pillars main event. Later on today, for anyone check us out right now on Instagram. Tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern Time on Instagram, we will have an interview with the BKFC fighter, Kai Allen Stewart. He is main eventing June 9th for the BKFC featherweight title. So he'll be on here. We'll talk about his training, his career. His young man is working on winning BKFC gold and just in college. We're going to set the combat world, sports world on fire by bringing in a title. So that'll be pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Any of these podcasts will be available later on if you're not catching them live on Spotify, YouTube, Rumble. Rumble is pretty cool. I like the user interface. If everything's right there, easy to find, so that's cool. Well, Joe, let's talk about it. Night of Champions last night, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Before we even get into how these matches went, I will say I liked that We had stories going into a Saudi show, right? That was good.
That was good.
The night kicked off with the World Heavyweight title final matchup. They coined this as having 3 main events, or 17 main events. I don't know what they were saying, but they threw this match on for most speculation is because Seth needed to get back home as soon as possible. Everyone, I think, knows already, Seth and Mark opened the show. Seth is the new World Heavyweight Champion. How do you feel about it? What did you think of the match? How do you feel about Seth being champion?
It was a good match, really. It was good. My thing, like I said, was I think AJ deserved the belt more. But AJ's on SmackDown. Yeah, really. I think he just need that one last title run and go out to do his life's retirement like a bang.
Do you think that this is AJ's final run? And do you think he's going to retire after his contract's up this time around?
I heard rumors. It's all rumors. But this is his last final contract. He don't want to do it. He might want to be like a coach or producer, whatever, like that. But right now, he said this might be his last run. So hey, I figured go out with a bang. Had a title just one last time.
I wouldn't have been mad if AJ had won it. I don't think there wasn't a situation where anyone in contention to have this title, I think, would have been undeserving or a situation I wouldn't have been happy with.
Nah, but then when you see Seth, he's like Seth said, it's been 4 years since he had a title. Like 4 years. I'm surprised it's been 4 years, but damn, it's been 4 years.
4 years went by fast. That was good. I will say, man, Seth has been the workhorse in WWE. Those gauntlet matches would have been about 4 years ago. All those gauntlet matches he did. Mm-hmm. He's consistent, always decent matches. I seen some folks rating that match last night pretty high. I don't know. I mean, I think the only star rating that truly matters to wrestling fans is what Meltzer said. I don't know what Meltzer gave it. I seen some other folks out there saying it was 4+ stars, like 4.5 stars. That was not a 4.5 star match.
It was good.
It was decent. Yeah, it wasn't bad. I liked it.
I give it a straight 4. I mean, I give it a 4 because
but it was Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. Yeah. It was gonna be above average, right?
I mean, I say if Seth didn't pull, you stepped away. Yeah, stepped away.
There we go. Hey, is that better? That's better.
Okay, that's better. All right.
Cool.
I say if Seth didn't do that little leg trick, like he broke his leg gave out, I would give it like a good, decent 5. It could have went further if he didn't pull that little leg stunt. It could have went decent. It could have had more action to it, and like maybe gave him like.
Talk about the injured leg spot.
Yeah.
So I love good in-ring psychology. I love where we have something where we're the Bret Hart thing of picking apart a body part, wearing it down for the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
I love that storytelling in a wrestling match. I like if you have a spot where the spot leads to the injury or leads to the weakness of the body part. So the spot of Seth diving to the outside, lands funky, tweaks a leg, tweaks a knee. Okay. The leg that looked wonky was the right leg. And commentary even called it out that looked like he twisted his right knee. Mm-hmm. He favored the left.
He did the left.
He stole the left.
Yes.
Commentary called out the right knee.
I seen that.
That's a fumble on commentary's part, in my opinion. I think, but I don't think it took away from the match in any capacity. I still think the match was really good, but I don't think it was a 4.5 star match. I just don't. I don't think that.
I just think that like when he just in the ring, when he went for the pedigree, like how he fell down like 3 times. I thought right there, like, bam, AJ's gonna win. But for some Miracle Ray, he did the stomp and got him.
Yeah, I thought the stomp to the hand was an odd part of the match. I thought that was kind of weird. But why would he stomp the hand when he could have just done the stomp? That didn't make any sense to me.
I don't know.
I got no answer for that.
I don't need. I was like,
But
okay, maybe something about to happen.
there was about a 0% possibility those two were going to have a bad match together. I mean, it's AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. AJ's one of the best to ever do it. I feel bad for people who've only seen AJ in WWE. Not that his WWE run has been bad. I'm not that guy. I don't think his run in WWE has been terrible. I don't think he's been booked poorly. I don't think any of those things. I think he's had a very good WWE career.
Mm-hmm.
But he came to the WWE in his late 30s. People who didn't get to see AJ doing the things he did back in TNA, or even just before his WWE run. I mean, AJ in New Japan as the leader of the Bullet Club, I think was. I mean, those matches were incredible. His match with Nakamura was so good. That's a 5-star match. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Meltzer gave that, nor do I care, because that's a Jeremy 5-star match. I've watched that match so many times. Yeah. Not as many as I watched Kenny and Okada, but I've watched AJ.
Uh-oh. Your sound went out.
How about now?
There we go. There we go.
All right. What if I unplug the mic whenever I move the camera? Technical difficulties.
That's okay.
Get it like a crack at it. All right, there we go.
There you go. Yes, what many people don't understand, AJ Styles still is a good wrestler. I told one of my friends about AJ Styles years ago when he was in TNA. He wasn't a fan of TNA. I just told him to watch AJ. Just go on YouTube, watch the first 3 matches that pop up on YouTube. You'll like them. I couldn't tell him which one to watch. I just said, go on YouTube, just type in AJ Styles, and whatever the first 3 pop up, you'll like it. I tried to get him to watch AJ, Samoa, Daniels. The very first 5-star match. It was good. That was the best one ever. He like, nah, not a fan of him. I'm like, okay.
You know, man, there's a lot of people who, and I mean, that's a good thing about a wrestling fan. There's a lot available. There's something for just about everybody. There's a lot of people who really only like that WWE style of professional wrestling. And that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to enjoy in WWE. There always has been.
Yeah.
I think TNA back in the day was a bit of a different style. I think that it was a good alternative. I enjoyed the 6-sided ring, especially at the time. I wish they used the 6-sided ring for the younger talent they had, the guys like AJ and Christopher Daniels, and those guys who could utilize that. I think that they did a very good job. I mean, TNA gets shit on a lot by a lot of wrestling fans because it was always, let's sign the most recently released guy from WWE. But man, I think Kurt Angle in TNA was great. Samoa Joe in TNA was great. Yeah, there was a lot of garbage. There was a lot of garbage in WWE too, and there always has been.
Yeah,
and people seem to forget that.
Yeah. But funny thing about it, fast forward, that same friend, we had a discussion like maybe 5 years ago. He like, have you heard of AJ Styles in New Japan? I'm like, I told you about my race. Like, no, you didn't. I said, yes, I did. Remember, I told you what's on YouTube? You're like, that's a different person. This is not the same AJ Styles. Like, it's the same person. Well, I didn't like that version of him. This one is way better. I'm like, okay. Same move, same style, but this different clothing is what basically changed his character.
And he was ultra heel leading the Bullet Club too.
Yeah.
especially in all the folklore of New Japan and being the American coming in, taking over after Finn, Prince Devitt, whatever. I think it was a perfect opportunity for AJ to reinvent himself, and it was really a short run in New Japan, really. Before he came to,
was it 2 years he was there?
Was it even that long?
Maybe a year or two. I don't know.
I think it was just a little over a year or something. Let's see.
I want to say at least 2 years he was there. At least 2.
Where I check NJPWfandom.com, see if this gives us the answer. Bunch of words. In March 2014, he signed with New Japan.
Okay. That was like the last of it.
And then he debuted in WWE January 2016, right? No.
Right.
Was it 2016 or 2017?
I think it was. 2016. Yeah, it was 16 because that's when.
So yes, that was only like a 2-year run. Not even 2 years in New Japan.
Yeah.
I think he was a good. I think he was a good bridge in leadership of the Bullet Club from Finn to Kenny, and then I think Finn and AJ really missed out on making the money off T-shirts.
Yeah. T-shirts. Yeah, I missed out on the T-shirts too since they didn't have my size at Hot Topic.
They had mine. I had a couple 2Xs.
Yeah, the XL was gone, so hey.
But I always got the hat.
I'm not a hat person. That's why I didn't get the hat.
It's hard for me to be a hat person because I got this giant head. So I got to have something that's got some elastic to it. I got to go on like the last 2 clicks of a snapback. It's pretty embarrassing, but I went to the Lids once to try and buy a fitted hat and they said it was special order. So
yeah, you don't want to do that.
So who knows? Maybe I'm sure there's some companies out there that specialize in hats for the big-headed man. Maybe they can hook us up with some sort of sponsorship and hook us both up with a hat because we both got some big melons.
Well, yeah, my head is pretty big, so I can't argue with that. No.
It might be the perfect name for a hat company for dudes with big heads, melons.
Hey, you better hurry and get that copyright. Somebody take it from you.
There's no way that's an original idea. I had to have seen that. Could have thought of that on my own. So that I think there's a little bit of dispute with the new World Heavyweight title as to whether or not it's carrying on the lineage of Big Gold. I'd seen that last week that it was going to carry on that lineage, and then I've seen something that it's not going to do that. It's going to break away or has already broken away from that. It's going to have its own lineage.
I heard a different version of it. I heard that they made it the gold, well, to represent the 60 years of the business, well, WWE wrestling business. So they brought the gold back, but they didn't want to make it like the traditional big gold, like the WCW belt. They wanted to make it decent.
I like the new title design.
Yeah.
I think it looks cool. And they didn't have to grow on me. I liked it out the gate. The new IC title I didn't like initially, but I like it now.
Yeah, I see. It's a toss up between me. It's nice, but then like it's way too big. Like it's like a heavyweight belt. But when it's in a cotton heavyweight,
it's got to look good.
Yeah,
and I think it looks good.
Yeah, just like they said, the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Like heavyweight, when you come in heavyweight championship, okay.
I guess so. We kicked off with the World Heavyweight title match. If we're talking titles, we're talking the IC title. What did you think of Ali and Gunther?
That was good. I say that's one of Ali's
That's
best matches.
really good,
That's
right?
one of his, that's like maybe besides in the cruiserweight, that's like his second best match. I'll say my opinion.
I really thought those two were going to steal the show. I think damn close. I mean, that match was very, very good. I truthfully feel like I would rate like both those. I'm not going to go. If I'm rating them, I'm going to give both those matches an A. Seth and AJ, Gunther and Ali. Those are both A quality matches. I feel like I'm a little biased. I want to give that Gunther and Ali match a little bit more, but man, Gunther's so good, and so is Ali. Mustafa Ali's a very good wrestler who just, man, I don't know if he can ever get that retribution stank off of him that I think they actually could have done something decent with, but I think Ali is really good, kind of underrated by a lot of people.
He's good. I mean, he came out wearing his, what you call it, turban? Turban? I don't want to be rude about it, but
Yeah,
he came out.
I don't want to misspeak that. I'm way too Caucasian to go misspeaking on things like that.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't say it wrong. But anyway, he came out, represent everybody there. They had the little nice video package for him before the match started, and then like they was very high on him, like he was about to win.
They might have let him be the guy to do it.
Yeah. And then when he did his
It
little
felt like it was Ali's moment. He was going to take the belt off of Gunther, and then we probably could have thrown Gunther in the Money in the Bank, and Gunther could have made a run at a world title, or at least moved him from mid-card to main event, since ideally that might be the plan down the road for it to be Cody and Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
Down the road. Maybe there's time to pull the IC belt.
Uh-oh. You're breaking out again. Breaking out.
How about now?
There you go.
I wonder if it's a connection thing.
I don't know.
But I thought maybe they might have done it. They might have pulled the belt off of Gunther, but I guess no. He's going to keep running with the IC title. Now I don't know when you pull it off. Now I don't know who you build up unless it's solo.
I say it like this. Here's my two opinions about this match. One, they're going to have him break the Honky Talk record. That's
Yeah.
They're going to definitely have him break the Honky Talk record. Two, when Ali did that 360 splash on him, like landed perfect. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was it. I'm like, damn.
How about that? Ali powerbombed Gunther.
Hey.
They set that up really well. That was certainly a spot in that match that I was not expecting in any way, shape, or form. I didn't expect Ali to powerbomb Gunther, but they did it well. I thought that match was put together possibly better than Seth and AJ. I felt like not that Seth and AJ was bad. Again, I'm not saying that.
No.
But I felt like Ali and Gunther, all the ring psychology worked very well. I thought that physicality of the match was exactly where it needed to be. Ali was able to be fast. Ali was able to hit high spots. And Gunther was just able to be Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
And I am willing to admit that Gunther is better than Walter. I was very mad about the name change, but Gunther is an entirely different wrestler than Walter was. He's in better shape. Looks like a star. But I think, man, I'm a Gunther fan. I was a Walter fan. I'm a bigger Gunther fan than I was even a Walter fan. And I like them both. But I'm willing to say, man, the package is the same, but the contents is a little different.
He's more brutal, controlling, and in demand.
No longer feels like an indie guy. Gunther feels like a superstar. Walter still felt like an indie guy.
See, different was Gunther is okay traveling the world. Walter didn't. Walter wanted to stay in one place only, and that's it.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I thought that match was great. I don't know what they do with Ali now. Ali's clearly not leaving WWE. I know he's asked for his release in the past. They've had their issues. The idea was that if he didn't
If he
get it
didn't
done
win,
with Gunther, he was going to leave. He ain't leaving. They're going to put him in NXT, right?
no. I think if he was to leave, he might be part of that little rumor cut coming up here soon. If he was
I
to
don't know.
leave,
That rumor, I mean, there's definitely going to be a talent cut. That's business. I don't think they're going to cut Ali. I think he's just going to go to NXT for a while and do something a little different with him in NXT. I think that he could do very well in NXT. I mean, they did it with Apollo Crews. Apollo went to NXT for a year, rebuilt, did some good work there, and I think I think they can, and I think they should do the same thing with Mustafa Ali.
you know what? I think they're gonna give him one more shot at that IC belt. I'm saying tomorrow he gonna get another shot at the IC. Well, not tomorrow. Let's take not tomorrow. He gonna go through all the members of the Imperium and get that gun.
He can do the Imperium Gauntlet.
Yes, he's gonna go through all of them one more time. He's gonna be like everybody. He just wants to talk about how they had the best match of the night. He wants that one more shot, and then bam, Gunther, tell him you want me. You go through them.
Boy, that'd be a good way to bring Dragunov into Imperium. Gunther goes to go through all the members of Imperium, goes through the guys we know. Then he thinks he's getting his shot against Gunther, and Gunther goes, no, there's one more member of Imperium. Introduce Dragunov. But then, do you put Ali over? Do you let him get to Gunther?
I would just one more time, but
Do you let him? Do you book Ali to go over on Gunther as a saving grace? Like, this is it. This is odds stacked against him. Have him face Dragunov, and then he beats Dragunov and just immediately into a match with Gunther? Or do you give a week buffer? Do we build this toward Money in the Bank? You could, on a weekly basis, build this toward Money in the Bank to get the Money in the Bank and have it be Ali versus Gunther.
I would say I would do that, but I don't know if they're gonna bring Dragunov this yet. That's the kicker. I don't know, but if they did bring him, I'm pretty sure they will put him over Ali. But I wouldn't want to see that happen.
Right? I feel like they'd almost have to. You couldn't bring him in and have him do the job to Ali, because there's no way to overbook that to make it, unless it's a surprise roll-up. Yeah, if you hit it with a surprise roll-up, that don't matter.
Yeah, but the only way that could happen if he ran the gauntlet that whole night. Let's say he did the whole night, and that became, and the IC title match was the main event of Raw. He went through all of them. That'd be like the great thing ever.
That'd be a good show.
I mean, it don't.
Good way to fill 3 hours of Raw.
That's
Each
why,
hour has an Ali match against a member of Imperium.
yeah. So that's what I would do instead of waiting for the pay-per-view. Let it be that night. Run the gauntlet. He be whooped, tired, but he gonna go through it.
Really, honestly, that's probably how they should book Raw. We should have a main event every hour. And if you booked Ali versus Imperium on Raw, and he thought at the end, final boss, you're gonna face Gunther at the very end of Raw, the final match of hour number 3, and Gunther comes out and he goes, no, you're gonna face Dragunov tonight. You get through Dragunov, you can have me at Money in the Bank. Great heel move.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, if Ali hits Dragunov with a surprise roll-up or something, it doesn't hurt the debut. He can lose that debut and come back. But it also leaves something to bring that Dragunov-Gunther feud to main roster. Ali only got the shot because Dragunov didn't get the job done. That can sit in the background. Build toward Money in the Bank. However we decide to go with Gunther and Ali at Money in the Bank. The waiting feud for Gunther after that, if he drops the title to Ali at Money in the Bank, is because Dragunov didn't get the job done.
Yeah. That's how I would do it. That's how I would do it.
Booking WWE is so easy. I don't know why we don't just do that for a living.
I know. That would be my
We just
plan for tomorrow night. That would be my idea for tomorrow night. Let it go out with a bang tomorrow night.
You kick the show off with Ali
coming out. Well, now I take that back. Seth got to come out first because he's the champion.
That's not kick off the show, right?
Yeah, Seth. Then somewhere then about the little 8:30, 8:45 slot, Ali comes out. Then that's when they started. Then 8:55, come back from the commercial break, whatever. First one. 9:30 second match. 10:50 the latest. The final match where you think he about to beat Gaunt. Well, yeah, 10:50. Yeah, 10:50 about to be. Oh, yeah, 10:50. Then at 5 minutes, like you said, Dragunov comes out. Let's just say it'd be like a little squash match by like 3 minutes or so.
Yeah. Man, that'd be good.
I know.
Ali versus Imperium Gauntlet match, I would really like that. That would be an enjoyable episode of Raw.
That's my plan. That'd be my idea for tomorrow. If not tomorrow, maybe next Monday. Because tomorrow,
yeah, they can always have Ali do a promo that he wants one more shot. He's not ready to go yet. He's not done in WWE. And then even if you don't put him over on Gunther, you can always send Ali to NXT. And I think that would be really good. I think Ali and NXT would be enjoyable.
Okay.
At least I would think so.
I'm not gonna doubt it. It probably would be. Yeah. They think about bringing a new show to the wrestling now. WWE, a new show.
A new weekly show?
Yeah, from what Nick Khan said, they might be adding a new show, so he might go into that.
Oh, we are going to try to add in Steroid Steve to our show today. Steroid Steve did not like Night of Champions.
Is that the one you had the conversation with on the phone?
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll see if Steroid Steve can get joined in here. But I can see them bringing in another show. I mean, why wouldn't they do Saturday Night's Main Event again? You got AEW's really pushing their whole Saturday night show. Why wouldn't WWE counter-program that? We're bringing back Saturday Night's Main Event.
Because Saturday is mostly pay-per-view night, so it wouldn't work out.
Oh man, they could just move the pay-per-view to Sunday.
I like
use it Sunday for a decade, 2 decades.
But I like the Saturday better. Saturday is way better for me.
I do like Saturday for pay-per-views.
I ain't gonna lie. Saturday pay-per-view.
Saturday for pay-per-views is really good.
Best thing about Saturday pay-per-view, I think with the Saturday pay-per-views, they got longer matches. It's way better, and you ain't gotta worry about waking up early the next day to go to work. So, that's me.
That's true. That's very true. I see there's also been talk of SmackDown getting an extra hour, which I think is too much, but I think SmackDown does get it 2 hours.
SmackDown is way better with 2 hours than 3. Shoot. But I mean, my thing is SmackDown did go 3 hours. They just had the little draft. So with only like not even a lot of people gonna be on SmackDown to do anything. They mostly on Raw for that 3 hours.
Yeah. I can see WWE adding a weekly recap show. I think a weekly recap show wouldn't be bad.
Mm-hmm.
That way, you miss something, they can summarize it. I mean, Hulu already does that for you for Raw. You get Raw from 3 hours, like an hour and 20-something minutes.
90-minute version of Raw, yes. That's not bad.
So before we even get to talking about the main event, what else stood out to you on the pay-per-view? I didn't watch the women's matches.
Okay.
I didn't watch. I don't.
I will tell you about, since I watched the women's match for you, I will tell you what stood out with the Trish and Becky match. It was good until at the end when the Star came out underneath the ring and attacked Becky. That was good.
I seen that piece. It looked like Zoe Stark busted, like broke Becky's nose or something.
Yeah, when she did it.
That happened in that move, or that happened in that match?
I think it happened when she did her little finisher. Was it called the C?
No,
I yeah, but
not a clue.
when she did that, and she tossed Becky back in the ring. That's when they went for the stratisfaction, and she won. Trish won.
So I guess that feud was just to like
Becky
Zoe Stark some better purpose, and
yeah, it's Becky versus
there. I guess, I mean, if you're gonna bring in a new person, at least throw them in there with top talent and work that way, I guess.
Yes. And then I'll talk about the other women, the main women's match, number 2. The second main event match that you probably didn't watch, Becky and Asuka. Now, what stood out in that match was I did not notice until the end of the match when Corey Graves pointed it out how Asuka came out with tape on her hand. And they had a reason why I didn't think about it at first, because she always come out with a finger and everything. But when she did the miss the first time, she missed. But she had a little bit of mist left in her mouth. So she spit on the tape. And when Bianca went for her little KOD, she did it like this, had her fingers and got it in the eye, and then bam, Asuka pulled it off. That's how it won.
Well, that's some interesting storytelling there.
Yeah. I was like, because I didn't think about it at first till Corey pointed out that's why her fingers was taped up. I'm like, oh, very interesting.
No, not bad. That's creative.
Yeah.
I kind of figured they would have Asuka win. I'd seen reports that she had asked for a release, and then they brought her back on TV. So I think it was probably time for them to move that belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next women's match that you probably didn't watch, it was less than 2 minutes, but I'll just go with it. Rhea versus Natalya. It was good.
She said it was less than 2 minutes?
Yeah, for real, like less than 2 minutes, like seriously. So
just a Goldberg style squash match?
This was like when the match started, Dominic Mysterio was still on the ring, talking shit to Natalya. That's when the ref rang the bell. Ding. Ripley came out there, hit her, bam. She started throwing her out the ring, brought her back in the ring, then bam, did a finisher. That was it.
I guess they gotta. I mean, there was no chance that somebody's gonna beat Rhea Ripley. So I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way to really book that than for it to be a squash match.
Yeah. So like I'm gonna say it was less than 3 minutes. Less than 3 minutes.
Then that brings us to
Rock versus Cody. Here's my thing.
What did you think of the match?
He said it was one like maybe the first time he had him in that little keel clutch when he was on the ring, in the ring, and then Brock stood up like in that little sitting up position, had his arm like that, and almost had him passed out. Yeah, he should have won right there.
There you go. Fix the mic.
Yeah, he should have won right there.
So I thought the match was. I mean, I just thought the match was done very much in the way that the last one was kind of done. They didn't do anything I thought was special or different. I don't think it was a bad match at all.
Huh?
I think the passing out in the Kimura,
Yeah, Kimura, that's it. I say
they
so.
really tried hard to tell the Stone Cold story, right? They really tried to do Bret Hart and Steve Austin, WrestleMania 13, passed out from the pain.
Yeah. But
So, any of our repeat listeners know, I have a background in submission grappling. You don't pass out from a Kimura. It doesn't happen. That you pass out from the pain. I mean, no,
could he
probably not.
legit broke his arm the first time he did it?
Could he have?
Yes, could he have?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you could break an arm with a Kimura. It's more likely to be a shoulder injury or an elbow injury, honestly, from the way you hook a Kimura underneath. Ideally, you want to keep it tight to your opponent's body. You rip the shoulder out, you extend the arm out, you go for the elbow. But passing out from the pain, no. I kind of thought that was going to be the angle that they went. Was a pass out from the pain, but I thought when Brock rolled and was on his back and had Cody up and really worked that angle, the choke was right there. He could have transitioned to the guillotine and it would have made the pass out make sense. That would have been the way to have it make sense that he passed out. Passing out from arm pain, just not realistic, I guess. And I don't. Again, doesn't have to be, but if he was going to pass out in that move, he should have been losing blood. Austin didn't pass out from the pain at WrestleMania 13. He passed out from blood loss.
That's true. That's true.
Pain and exhaustion. That match went quite a bit longer than Cody and Brock. I can't believe they didn't have Brock come back and beat up on Cody more.
Oh. Did you see why? Brock got pissed.
He seemed mad that somebody threw something
somebody
at
threw
him.
a bottle, I think like a bottle of water in the ring. So I think he was going to do something. When that bottle almost hit him, he got pissed and like ready to storm off. So yeah.
For some reason, they're saying it's Steroid Steve can't seem to join us. I don't know what the issue is here.
Oh, wait.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. We got Steroid Steve on.
I know you couldn't wait to have me on.
I'm going to take this moment to just tell all of our listeners, anyone watching, the views and opinions expressed by Steroid Steve do not necessarily reflect those of myself, of the illegal brother-in-law Joe, of Mark the Monster, or anyone from Don't Say the F Word. What'd you think of Night of Champions, Steve?
Well, when I was going through my television and looked at the movie section, it had the replay of the Night of Champions. So I figured I would watch it since I couldn't watch it yesterday. But I just fast forwarded to the end of every match because I would have fell asleep.
There's no fun. Wow.
How do you have? I mean, they don't have any other. Let's just talk about the women's matches for a second. You don't have any other women.
No, I didn't watch any of them.
You don't have any other women, any current women wrestlers that you could wrestle or put up against Ripley or the Man. Supposedly, she's called the Man. You got to have 45, 50-year-old women wrestling them. This is what I'm saying. It's not like it was back in the day, man. You would never saw that.
So let's recap though. You are what I would call a lapsed wrestling fan. The last time you were into watching WWE would have been mid-late 90s, Attitude Era.
Yeah, I mean it started dying down when when The Rock ended, and Stone Cold ended. But before that, Razor and Flair and, all those, Iron Sheik.
So golden era WWF into the Attitude Era into a little bit of get the F out, but probably everything pre early 2000s.
I'm gonna say he stepped before get the F out. He left before that.
Yeah, I mean it was just rough because look, I mean I know I live in Ohio, but I don't know if you guys are Browns fans. I mean Jeremy doesn't even know what football is, so.
That's true. I've seen a football. I have seen a physical football before.
I have to agree with that as Jeremy.
The way that if you're a Browns fan, I'm gonna like compare it to the WWE for me. If you're a Browns fan now, you're so tired of watching them year after year, the last 20 years of just constantly losing. If you want to fall asleep and you're tired, but all you got to do is turn the game on. You fall asleep watching the Browns play. That's the same. Like yesterday, there's no way I could have watched the whole 3 hours. There's no way.
But that was a good 3 hours though. They had good matches. The beginning to the end was good.
Is that the first time they were out there in Saudi?
Nah, they've been to Saudi a couple times.
Maybe like third or fourth time.
Fourth, I think.
Cody Rhodes is garbage. Your boy's garbage. Why? And I'm not saying. Look, I know you don't say the F word. I know you don't say the F word on here. And we know it's not real. But why do you think? What is your opinion on why you think Vince McMahon and the writers do not want Cody Rhodes to win?
Because I can tell you this right now.
Let's hear Joe's opinion.
They brought Cody back because, all y'all think Cody's going to win the title now. They want you to listen to the very long storytelling about how his daddy did it. Took him years. He brought him back. So he's going to follow in daddy's footsteps. So every pay-per-view premium live event, he's going to lose. They're going to carry it on for about to the next time you fight Roman Reigns. And that's when he's going to win. So you are looking at your Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes. And that's how they're going to play it out.
I agree with that to an extent. I think it's about the long-term story of Cody being the ultra 80s white meat babyface. And I think that's one of the things with that match last night with him and Brock. That match was felt very 80s underdog kind of hero style matchup.
So who's Brock?
We're going to be so close, and he's just not going to be able to beat the monster.
So who do you think Brock is going to go up against now?
Man, I would guess, if I'm guessing, your next Brock Lesnar feud, probably him and Seth for Money in the Bank.
Nah, they ain't gonna do it no more. He can't. Wait, take it back. He can't.
I think this is a filler. It's just going to be a filler little mini feud. Brock's going to go after this belt because he can't go after Roman's belts. Seth will go over on Brock at Money in the Bank, but I don't know who you line Seth up with for the next premium live event, other than Brock's that easy.
I know who you do it.
Brock's easy. He's easy to put in the main event because he's always believable in the main event.
I think what's gonna happen. Cody gonna ask for one more match against Brock, and that'll be it. Third time's charm.
God, man, they got to get Cody away from this feud.
Cody. Hey,
now look at you just got done saying you're tired of the feud.
I'm just saying, Cody don't want one more match.
The Reigns title has been 500 days too long.
1,000 days. Today, Mark.
He's saying it could have ended 500 days ago.
Oh, could it?
Because we never forgot the 1,000-day mark.
So if you're that tired of Cody and what happened to him? What happened to his voice? I can't hear him now.
Hey, Jeremy, you got to fix the mic, man. You kind of went down. There you go.
How about now?
Man, I didn't mean to make you knock the microphone down or anything.
What was with this mic today? It's a good mic. think it's just the connection or something.
So when we were talking a week ago, and I sent you that text about Reigns taking time away from the WWE, and when I saw the match yesterday, I'm finally sitting here when I do watch it once every 6 months. I'm like, man, finally, it seems like finally the writers have listened to all the fans that I've told you about. They can't stand his matches anymore.
Man, you're in one little corner of the internet wrestling community looking at these fans who hate Roman. But here's the thing.
It's supposedly thousands of them.
Sure, there's thousands of fans that hate Roman. They hate this, and they hate the 1,000-day run with the title.
Oh, it's nothing about hating him. It's nothing about hating him. It's
thousands, hundreds of thousands that are out there every week putting their ones up. This is one of the best stories ever told in pro wrestling.
Come on, man.
100%. It's got so many layers, and it just keeps evolving, and it just keeps becoming more and more and more. They keep adding chapters to this story.
Hey, but look at it this way. They listen to the fans. Roman was supposed to be a good guy the whole entire time. He's supposed to be next to John Cena. Look at him. He's a heel. He's cheating to win. He's holding on to that belt. They gave you what you wanted. They listen to the fans.
Wrestling fans are fickle. You can give them exactly what they ask for, and they're going to be mad. I was never a big Roman Reigns fan until the tribal chief gimmick, until the bloodline story. I never thought Roman was a bad wrestler. People would always chant, "You can't wrestle," and that Roman. It wasn't that Roman was a bad athlete by any means. Not that he was. That his matches were put together uncreatively, and his stories weren't compelling. His story now is compelling. His matches are done. I mean, they're not the most physical. They're not the most hard-hitting. It's not an indie-style match. But they're done in a way to tell a story in the ring. And that's more important than high spots, in my opinion. And I like a good high spot. I like a match that's physical for the sake of being physical sometimes. But your world champion, the guy, should be telling a story in the ring. And he can't do that every week. He's got to do that. It's got to be special. It's got to mean something. And it's got to progress the story. And every Roman Reigns match does that right now. Before, whenever he was feeding dog food to Baron Corbin on SmackDown, the story they were telling was garbage. The story they're telling now should win an Emmy. It's good. It's good TV.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine that they tell a story. But you saw, and that's why I text you, how good or how entertaining Roman is from that match last night. He's boring. He's boring in the ring.
It was a tag match.
Right, it was a
tag match with four guys who aren't tag team wrestlers. It wasn't going to be a 5-star match.
No.
It was never meant to be.
Well,
it wasn't supposed to be.
It's not a 5-star match when he wrestles by himself because his family comes out. You know what the outcome is going to be every time he steps in that ring. How do you not know? How do you not know what's going to be what's going to happen every time he gets in the ring? Now his family turns on him.
Did you know that was going to happen?
It backfired.
I was surprised. Were you surprised when Jimmy kicked him in the head?
Oh, I think we talked about that's what needs to happen. That his family needs to turn on him because they're sick and tired of helping him and him taking all the credit for it.
And that's exactly the story they told.
Right. So now the story needs to end.
It's not.
It's been going on long enough. It's time to end. And you not liking this.
I'm going to break your heart right now since I'm that person of the group. This is what's going to happen. It's all a fake. They're going to say at the end, you cannot break up a family. We are all one. They're going to get back together somehow. I don't know how, but it's
You
going to
think?
happen. Really.
You think they're going to reunite the bloodline?
They might reunite the bloodline, or like I told you the other day, like I told you yesterday, they do that fatal four-way for the belt. Like I told you. It's going to be one of the two.
I think that I could see a change in the members of the bloodline because I think you have the Usos and Solo are brothers. And Roman is a cousin, but you have, man, there's a lot of Samoans in that family. And Jacob Fatu recently lost the House of Glory title to Matt Cardona. So they could bring in other family members, have Roman rebuild with other family members, and leave the Usos on the outside until it's time for Solo to pick a side, and he sides with his brothers. Then you have Bloodline War Games.
Is The Rock Samoan?
Yeah. He's their cousin.
That's
Okay.
their cousin.
So maybe we'll have a return of The Rock to come and save
The Rock can't
somebody else.
do it. Rock can't do it no more. He's a movie star. He can't
They
risk.
thought Rock would come back for this past WrestleMania, and they didn't do it. They couldn't make it happen.
His movie career, making movies, he can't do it.
If they could, they could sell out any arena in the world.
I mean, if they could.
If they could do Rock and Roman, that match could be its own match. You don't even need anything else on the card. You could put 50,000 people in any arena in the country.
Oh yeah.
One match.
No, I'm saying not for him to wrestle. I'm saying for him to interfere, to have like how
for him to have a hand in it.
Yeah, how everybody helps Roman win his title. Have The Rock step in as not as to wrestle, but to help somebody else win the title and take it away from Roman.
And I could see them figuring out a way to get there. I definitely think they could do something. How they could, I don't know how they get there. I have an idea. Hi guys, it's me, it's Mark again. A couple months ago, I said that I thought Solo Sikoa was going to be the one to turn on Roman. And, I mean, what if that's still the possibility? Yeah, sure, Jimmy kicked him right in the head. But what if Solo's the guy to take the titles off of Roman? And what if it's The Rock?
Marky, I can't hear you, Marky. Can't hear you, Marky. There you go. There you go.
All right. Yeah. What if Solo gets the help of The Rock to beat Roman? Because Solo was sent there by The Rock to keep an eye on Roman and keep Roman in check.
Nah, I don't see it. I don't see it. Sorry.
Well, I mean, it could happen.
It could happen, but I don't see it. I'm sorry, Mark.
I mean, he did say a few months ago that there was going to be a turn on Roman. He was right there. He just had the wrong Uso pick. I mean, Solo still counts as an Uso. He's an Uso. He's a brother. It counts. Not a twin, but it counts.
Hey, what you call it? The members of the Gorilla. I heard they free. They brothers.
Yeah.
They can show up anywhere now.
I mean, they could definitely split the bloodline. You could have two different bloodline factions. That would give us one hell of a main event at War Games.
I mean, there are family feuds, so
yeah. Steroid Steve, I think you might be onto something.
And I don't even watch it.
I think earlier, Joe and I booked Raw and how Raw should work out with Ali facing all the members of Imperium. I think we just booked the next several months of WWE TV of building up two different bloodlines to have them out of War Games. I think I hope they send us a check.
I mean,
Yeah, I hope the writers are listening to this.
Yeah, I hope they make that check payable to Mark the Monster Clementine, because I don't think puppets pay taxes. Don't really know what the rule is there, but I don't think he has to pay taxes.
I just want 3 tickets to WrestleMania. That's all I want. Both nights. That's all I want.
Good seat. Don't put us in the nosebleeds. I don't want to be at WrestleMania sitting up at the highest seat possible, still watching the show on my phone.
Now, see, if they would have did something like that, 500 days ago, and let the titles keep switching hands, it isn't that exciting to watch the same person hold the belt for that long. It's more exciting to me to watch something, to see the title like stay with somebody for maybe 6 months,
right, and
then go to another person for 6 months, and then go back to another person, then go to the same person they had, a year ago.
But it's more exciting to see him break records.
He's a long ways away from breaking a record.
He's in the top guy. He broke 1,000 days.
He is the number 6 all-time guy is holding. Day.
They're gonna make sure he beats Hogan. He's not gonna beat Bruno, but he's gonna beat Hogan.
I can see Hogan.
Because Hogan's 1,400 days, right?
1,474.
So out of those 1,474 days, so he's got 473 days, say. How many times is he going to wrestle in those 473 days? 20?
6.
10. I go 10. I go 10.
See what I mean?
Well,
do you see what I mean?
He doesn't have to be on every week, man. He doesn't have to.
I'm not saying be on every week. But
what if he defends once a month? Will you be happy with once a month? That's every 30 days.
Even if it was once every 2 months.
He probably gets close to that.
You do, yeah.
But the title needs to go. If he's going to take time off, he needs to relinquish the titles.
They already got long-term plans for him. He's going to hold that belt for a while.
I think he holds it till at least next year's WrestleMania.
That's horrible. That's horrible writing. It's horrible writing.
How's horrible? They want to have...
It's long-term storytelling.
I mean, that's 3 years holding the belt right there. At least, yeah, 3 years.
It's unbelievable in the modern era.
If you're going to have the family turn on you like what happened last night, you have to get rid of the belt. The belt has to change hands now. You can't drag out a family feud for another 365 days. It's going to be too boring.
What if they drag it out till October, November? They do War Games, and then they reunite the family again to have it fall apart again next year after Roman loses the belts.
That's what I'm saying. That's too long. It's just too long. I mean, they're booing them now.
That's what they're supposed to do.
They boo and they love them.
They're at least reacting. They used to do nothing. They used to do absolutely nothing when our Roman was on TV. In 2018, Roman Reigns faced Samoa Joe in the main event of a premium live event.
Great.
And halfway through the match, the audience left.
That is true.
They got up and left.
It wasn't because of Joe.
I mean, whoever produced the match is really at fault for why the audience left, to be honest. It wasn't the fault of Samoa Joe or Roman. The number of rest holds is why people left. The match just didn't have a good pace to it, I think. And you knew the outcome. You knew Joe wasn't winning before the match even happened. You knew Reigns wasn't losing to Samoa Joe, and they did the match not a very hard-hitting style, so the crowd left. But no one is walking out of a Roman Reigns match today. You could put him in an 8-man tag, and that crowd is staying there till the very end.
Why are they doing that?
Because heel Roman is better than...
Because they want him to lose.
No.
Because they want to. Yeah, they want to see him finally get pinned. He hasn't been pinned since 2019. Whoever finally pins Roman Reigns is going.
He hasn't
to be elevated to a level of stardom they never could have got to without. Roman Reigns is making stars around him, and that's something not many other main event guys have really truly done in a long time.
He hasn't been pinned because he has help every time he wrestles. How are you going to have somebody pin him when you got family members coming in to save him every time?
There's been a few matches he did not have family members.
Time, right? Wasn't that one time you were saying with Cena?
I can only remember John Cena and WrestleMania, Edge, and Daniel Bryan.
But I mean, it just everybody knows the look. Anybody that watches, nobody even like somebody like me. I don't even have to watch wrestling religiously to know what's going to happen when Roman Reigns wrestles. I know the outcome, so why would I watch it?
But how much do you want the outcome to be different? How badly do you want to see him
last
lose?
night? Well, it was different. Yesterday was different. Yesterday afternoon, it was different. They came out, they helped, and then they turned.
Right. So probably because people are voicing their opinions, like you said, and wrestling listens to the fans, and the fans are tired of the same old story. It's got to end after 1,000 days. Just like I told you.
There's chapters. It's a new story arc.
Jeremy,
all the time.
Just like I told you. If you ate a hot dog once a day for 365 days, you would get sick of eating a hot dog. You would want.
But then I would put chili on it, and it's a chili dog.
Right. So just like you said, if somebody gave you a steak dinner on the 365th day, after eating 364 days of hot dogs, that would be the greatest thing in the world for you. So
right.
This is what I'm saying. It's just like a metaphor.
So 1,500 days, when Roman gets beat, the person who does it, who takes the belts off of Roman, is going to be elevated to such a high level. It's going to be crazy.
What is it going to be like when The Undertaker lost at WrestleMania for the first time?
Yeah.
I don't think people will sit there with their jaws open.
I bet they will.
They'll be like, "Thank."
I was that way when Cody lost at WrestleMania. I thought for sure Cody was going to be the guy.
That is when he should have lost the title, I feel. I feel that and they're still dragging it on, but they should have let the title switch hands at the last WrestleMania.
What do you think, Joe? Should Cody have won at WrestleMania?
I'm going to say this again, like I told you before. He should have lost.
Thank you.
I told you my opinion. Cody is not going to be ready to win the belt just that fast. So I'm still sticking by my word.
I think Roman should have won. Steve thinks Cody should have won. I wanted Cody to win.
Yeah.
Badly. I mean, the figure's up here behind me. It's right there. I wanted Cody to win that belt. I'm okay that he didn't win it at WrestleMania this past WrestleMania. I don't think Cody should win a title outside of WrestleMania. I'm okay with Cody winning the new World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania versus Cody being the guy to beat Roman.
So who is the guy that Roman can't beat?
Seth Rollins.
So he just won the new belt.
On our show. He opened up this episode. Seth was here.
So he just won that new belt, right?
Yep.
That's right.
So when I saw that he won that belt, right away I'm like, okay, it's going to be Roman and Seth.
And they could get there.
And Brock to win Money in the Bank.
Nah, they're going to have Brock do that again.
And fans will be mad if Brock wins Money in the Bank again. But I don't know. Money in the Bank is still up in the air. I don't know who wins it. I kind of think it'll be Cody, and I think he'll call his shot that he's going to cash in at SummerSlam. But now I don't know if he cashes in on Roman or if he cashes in on Seth.
It just seems like every time Cody comes out, he has a cast on, or he's on crutches, or he's got his ribs taped up. There's always something with him when he comes out.
Man, you ain't wrong. I hate that you ain't wrong, but you ain't wrong. You got to be the underdog, man. He's a white meat babyface.
Well, I mean, he's the underdog, but he never wins.
You know what? I can tell you what's probably going to happen. This is what's going to happen. If Cody does win Money in the Bank, he's going to do a RVD and cash it in at WrestleMania. He's going to call out whoever wins the Royal Rumble is probably going to be like a Raw person. Says SmackDown going to need somebody to fight. He's going to go to SmackDown and say, hey, Roman, I'm cashing in at WrestleMania. They're going to do an RVD.
I think that's a great prediction to end this episode of Don't Say the F Word with. I want to thank you guys for joining. I want to thank everyone for tuning in live on Instagram and anyone watching this later on Rumble, on Spotify, on YouTube. Again, we will be back tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time interviewing Kai Allen Stewart from BKFC. He is going to be fighting for the featherweight title in BKFC on June 9th. Tonight is AEW Double or Nothing. With any luck, we'll be back tomorrow morning to talk about Double or Nothing. I know Joe's going to watch. Steve, are you going to watch Double or Nothing? Are you going to give AEW a shot tonight?
Be the first time I've watched AEW. I've never watched it before. So
What's it coming on again?
It comes on 8 o'clock, I think.
No, what?
8 o'clock. Yep, it's on Bleacher Report, Fight TV, wherever you get your wrestling pay-per-views. I've heard rumors about there's pirates out there who do some things where you can find a way to, watch things in a way that may be about as legal as Joe Bean, my brother-in-law. Don't condone those things, but, I mean, the Internet's a shady place. You find all kinds of stuff.
Oh, fine.
Thank you guys for joining me today. We will be back tonight, 7 o'clock, with an interview. Hopefully tomorrow morning, and we'll recap AEW Double or Nothing. One final prediction. Oh, we have a cameo. Who is the cat?
This is Milo.
There is
He's about ready to
Milo.
Yeah, he's about ready to attack Roman Reigns in a minute.
The prediction for Double or Nothing is CM Punk. At the end of the show, gonna come through the curtain. They're gonna put Punk on the pay-per-view. He's not gonna do anything, no physicality, but we will see CM Punk. Otherwise, they ain't selling out that arena for their Chicago show. They need to let people know Punk will be there.
Cool. So, Chicago. MJF versus CM Punk.
Yep, MJF is definitely winning the Four Pillars match. That's my prediction there. Next MJF feud will be Adam Cole, baby. Boom.
All
We out.
right, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
See ya.
See.